Hello, welcome to a bonus episode of Commander Fodder. So this is alongside the regular one I do goes out every Tuesday. Thanks to the person that gave a thumbs up for me actually building a Clockwork Beast deck. That's all I needed to push me over the edge. So if you want to stick around and potentially see me make a complete dog's breakfast of this, you're very welcome. If you don't want to watch the video, I'll perfectly understand. I've deliberately done this as a bonus one so it doesn't interfere with the regular schedule. But I just couldn't resist it, and I always thought if anybody, confirms in the affirmative that they want to see me build it, then I'm gonna have a go. So I've gone with their suggestion as well of including energy chamber, because I can see the advantage of that. If you're not familiar with the clockwork creatures, so as soon as I thought about doing this, I thought, well, I'm just going to have to stick in everything with clockwork in the title. That's that's just got to be done. Interestingly, by doing that and doing a search in Scryfall, something like this, I discovered that indeed there was a general. It was released at the time of Commander 2021. I probably got the deck with this in actually, but it was also in a Brothers War Commander deck in an old frame, so that's the one I've gone with, the old frame version. Now you can probably see here most of the clockwork, again using the term most here probably incorrectly, but a large amount of the clockwork creatures occurred early in Magic's history. We did get quite a few of them in original Mirrodin. There's one here from Time Spiral, one from Throne of Eldraine, the one I've already mentioned from Commander, this one from CLB, Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate, and this one, which is a drawbridge from Dominaria United. Well, it's a Clockwork Drawbridge, so I feel the need to include it. So they're all going in. Now, just one thing I wanted to mention about Clockwork Beast, in case you want to get your head around exactly how this is going to work, because one thing you'll notice is, if I go back to the one I've got in here, this is the 5th edition version. So it says, when Clockwork Beast comes into play, put 7+1+0 counters on it. At the end of any combat in which Clockwork Beast attacked or blocked, remove one of those counters. And you'll see a lot of these clockwork creatures have a similar ability on them. There's variations here, but it's all very similar in that, there's ways of putting counters on there, and there's ways that counters come off. And a lot of the time with these, they come off as a result of them attacking or blocking. You might notice that some of these have no means in and of themselves of getting counters on there. Now, if you look at the second bit here, after remove one of these counters, it says X tap, put X+1+10 counters on Clockwork Beast. You may have no more than 7 of these counters on Clockwork Beast. Use this ability only during upkeep. But notice on this particular copy of it, it's within this activation. And the reason why that's important is if you look at the card, so if you go through, you'll see there's actually an entry down here. So it says this is a change to the most recent wording. Now, if some other spell or ability causes +1+0 counters to be put on Clockwork Beast, it can wind up with more than 7 counters on it. So basically, if anything's sticking counters on there, then it can get around that. But the point is, you can't add anymore using this ability. So this is, if you like wrapped into the ability, this check, this ability can't cause the total number of +1/+0 counters. So it's those, and of course it's those particular type of counters as well. Okay, so it's the +1/+0 counters. But also, if there's another way of adding +1/+0 counters, that could get round it. And what's interesting to know is if you look at the different printings, you see how this was worded differently over the years. So it's got put 7 +1/+0 counters. I'll get it around the end on Beast. On Beast. After Beast attacks or blocks a creature, discard a counter. During the untap phase, controller may buy back lost counters for 1 mana per counter instead of untapping Beast. This taps Beast if it wasn't already tapped. Now the version I'm using is the 5th edition one. So you can see it's a little bit clearer exactly what's going on here. And that is identical to this, what do they call it? It has a name, doesn't it? This text. Anyway, yeah. That particular text, whatever the name of it is, and it's just completely gone from my mind. Oracle text, that's it. Thank you. My brain suddenly kicked in. But what's interesting is look at the beatdown. So this was the beatdown box set. I've actually slightly changed it here. For the 30th edition, it's back to how it was here. And for the version they printed for Master's Edition online, it's the same. But this one, you can see here, it says Clockwork Beast can't have more than 7 +1/+0 counters on it. Now again, that's a certain type of counter, but it's outside of the ability in there. So yeah, so I'm assuming as a result that's why we have this additional bit here to do with the rules text. There is additional rules information about this change from the most recent wording. Now if some other spell or ability causes +1/+0 counters to be put on Clockwork Beast, it can wind up with more than 7 such counters on it. So there you go. But a lot of the time we're not going to be specifically adding +1/+0 counters, we're going to be adding +1/+1 counters. And a lot of the like I said, the Clockwork creatures are like that. Some, if you go into the, let me pick one here. This is using +1/+1, so it's not a problem. Clockwork Steed. Similar wording for the bits that apply, but it doesn't really have that additional information on it. But again, most of the time we're going to be adding +1/+1 counters. Anyway, I've digressed, but just so you know. So I've got a number of things over on the sideboard here which I may or may not choose to put in. I don't want them interfering with the algorithm. Now it's probably going to just pull me down a general artifacts route, but we'll see. So let us dive in to, what should we go with? Let's just do creatures first of all. And creatures specifically that do things with +1/+1 counters. So we're in mono white. Oh, did I explain? Yeah, just here. So it's in here because it's it's a Clockwork Scholar, and prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to attacking artifact creatures you control, so they don't get dealt combat damage. Whenever one or more artifact creatures enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Just be careful if you're doing a deck like this that you really understand the implications of this against anything that might occur in combat or such like. So this is at the end of any combat, so which it attacked or blocked, so it makes no mention about combat damage. It's not going to interfere with that in any way, but with this in play, it obviously prevents all combat damage that will be dealt to attacking artifact creatures you control. So it's an asymmetrical fog effect for artifacts. I suppose that's the way of thinking about it. Anyway, so on with the fun and games. Although we're in white purely for that commander, we're going to be mainly, yep, got to have a steel hellkite. Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, we're in there for the commander, but that does give us the option to run, various white utility, white removal. We've got access then to wrath effects as well. Ooh, we need some affinity in here actually. So 4/5 for 11. So let's play for each artifact. I wonder how quickly I'd get that into play. I think I'll run a duplicant. Right, where to even start here? That would be nice. I should run the gold Emeria seeing as I'm running white. Put a Cryptothrall in there. And Solemn. Yeah, I don't know whether I want to go mere tribal. What's this? Flying Vigilance Trample. Mono white artifacts, eh? Who would have thought? 29 creatures. Okay. Better get some regular artifacts in here, maybe. Right. What's this? It looks like a fun deck. Do I want annoying little pest tokens? Actually, I do want a skull clamp. And an unwinding clock. I'm wondering whether I should put colourless land in here as well. Let me think about that. Okay, so if we now have a look at what else? Enchantments, maybe. Yep, I like the look of that. And that. That. Why not? Sorceries and instants. I wonder if... see what we can do. Planeswalker, okay. Yep. Yep. Instants and sorceries. Okay, Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, Dispatch, Disenchant, interesting. I'll do some sorceries and see if I got any space left in a moment, and I should put an enlightened tutor in there maybe. Chrome as well would be good. Okay, where are we? 89. Let's search for some sorceries. Right. Oh yeah, looks good. Choose to Okay. Not that, I'll have that and that. Now any combination here help me? Yeah. See what else comes up. Let me leave that for the moment. Okay, so I'm going to bring in, surprise, surprise, Phyrexian Rebirth. And a trading post, because you know, goats. Now so I don't think I really want that. This looks like fun and annoying. Okay. We got 5 slots. Okay. What creatures do we have at our disposal? I suppose we could stick in some Thopters. Actually, that looks very interesting. So, yeah, maybe I should have some stuff that's spitting out artifact tokens actually. Because that would add to the some of the stuff that cares about the amount of artifacts. Should maybe have a sun titan in there. And a worm call engine. What the hell? One more card. Is it going to suggest any more sorceries? beyond what we have there. I don't know if I want to open the vault for everybody. Maybe I'll just have this to, I'm not sure. Feel this from your hand. Okay. I'm going to look at the land while I decide. Okay, so artifact back. Bit of utility here. Where's my land gone? I've lost, oh, there it is. Lost my land. I don't think it's going to make any difference adding those utility lands in, but you never know. Ooh. Ooh, what do you know? That looks interesting. And I think that's probably it. Let me export that. So after my lack of success, oh my word, earlier today with the playtester where I got very confused about the ability, I think I will just look at the draws here. So what's that, turn 3, just make sure that the deck gets off to a good start. Okay. Scavenger grounds, what have we got? Anything castable yet? No, not yet. Well, actually this is. Get my Clockwork Fox out, or one of these. Actually, that would be cool because that would make everything cheaper. Yeah, that would be very cool actually. Yep, I want to get that out. So I don't mind getting my steel hellkite out. So So one less to cast, and this as well. Yep, so I could cast that. Okay, yep, that's cool. And then start getting my clockwork stuff out. And get some counter shenanigans going on. Now, one thing with this deck I didn't really do much, which I probably should have worked a little bit more, and this again is a nice thing if you're not super serious about stuff, is put together a clockwork creatures toolkit, because definitely there's some proliferate stuff that might be of benefit in the deck. So I'll look at another hand here. It's that sort of deck where you've just got to basically play around with ideas, I think. So Den. Yeah. We could get a Clockwork Beetle out. That would be fun. Yeah, thinking about it, I definitely need more ways of manipulating counters. Because really, at the moment, all this deck is more about caring about artifacts and really leveraging the I need to get this out as well because of the card draw. Although it would be nice to wait until we've got some sort of thing to protect this a bit from removal. You see, some of these you can't put counters back on again, so you need a way externally of doing that, and I don't think I've got enough cards that manipulate counters. So that would probably be my next move in tweaking this deck, because there isn't really, there's a lot of stuff that it'll help get counters out quickly, cards out quickly, but yeah, I'm not really leveraging the clockwork theme for those that don't have the ability to add in. So where they do, I'm fine, because I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to be generating a ton of mana. But beyond that, for some of the other stuff, they're really only there as bodies to synergize with the cards that sort of care about the number of artifacts. So if I was to do text add counter in see what we have here. doing an outlast thing, which I don't really want. So Johnny would be probably a good addition just generally for counters. But what's all the proliferate stuff? Yeah, there we go. So, what do we need to remove? Down a bit. Nine cards. Okay, so if we go down that route, let's just take out that. Six cards. Gotta make sure I don't take out the Clockwork Beast, just because. our land count like? Let's take that down by 1. So we need to lose 2 cards. Okay, so yeah, it's a slightly different version. That's the second version. So much more proliferating there than the first one. So again, I think I've just got to keep getting land out initially. Okay, that's looking better. And so on. Saga out. Need a target for that. That's rather lucky. Let's see. Nope. Really? better. So now I can cast that and equip. Okay, good. Fair enough. That was not a very good hand. Oh, she's saying that. Not too bad now. Hands on. Yep. So like I said, something you really need to play around with. How expensive is this? I mean, the Clockwork cards are pretty cheap. Obviously there's some of the proliferate stuff is expensive. But I suppose if you just wanted to build the deck for funsies and didn't care too much about proliferating, then you can make it a lot cheaper. What's the cost of the creatures? Oh, $50 for 33 creatures. Yeah, Smothering Tithe is pretty expensive. You could get rid of that, I suppose. Ugins $5. Instance, what's the expensive thing in the instance then? Is that part? Oh, no. Oh, Inline Tutor, yeah, again, you could probably ditch that. Thinking about it. Mana's pretty expensive, so... Oh yeah, get rid of Urza's Saga. If you wanted to cut down on the price. And the Emeria. Yeah, so there's ways of getting the price down on this a bit. I should go through my binders and see how many of these Clockwork things I've got. I can never remember whether I opened packs of Homelands or Fallen Empires, one or the other. I always get confused. It was probably Fallen Empires, maybe. Okay, there we have it. That's the deck, the additional episode of Commander Fodder where I built around, where is it? Clockwork Beast. Thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in the next episode.